Turkey to Pakistan, from Bangladesh to Malaysia, from Jordan to Egypt, when a great number of people were baying for blood of the French President Macron, and emboldened and encouraged by this example, when in India there was a huge outcry to boycott French product and demanding severe punishment for the French President Macron, I have a single question to ask to all of them. Are you not, with this support to boycott France, to punish France, is actually justifying an act of terrorism? Are you not validating, consciously or unconsciously, an act of mob lynching? If tomorrow billions of people, billions of Indians come out on the street in support of mob lynching, they too might say that their sentiment was hurt. Then are you going to support that too? Will you validate that too? Now you cannot say that your sacred is the only sacred and my sacred is profane. So now you have to understand that France is a global capital of liberalism, and now it is under attack by radical jihad. It is a victim. Now if you blame the victim for the terror attack, then it becomes a classic example, a textbook example of victim bashing. If a woman is raped, are you going to blame the woman or the rapist? Will you say that it is a woman who has to be blamed because she provoked the rapist? So my dear friend, nothing in the name of faith can justify torture and killing of another human being. Now isn't it true that chapter 5 verse 32 says that whoever kills, unless as a punishment of a murder or a mischief in the land, it is as if he has killed the whole of humanity. Or whoever saves a life, it is as if he saved the whole of humanity. Now you can say, yes, the mischief has been done in the land with this vilest caricature. I agree. But remember, France is not governed by Sharia. France has its own constitution. And French constitution determines the definition of mischief. And in France, blasphemy is not a mischief. Now when this sick, bloodthirsty, fanatic prime minister, ex-prime minister of Malaysia, that is Mahathir Mohamad, he tweets that Muslim has a right to kill thousands, millions of French people. Have you noticed any such global outrage, any such outcry condemning this statement of Mahathir Mohamad? Have you seen any road rally in protest of Mahathir Mohamad? Any boycott call against the Malaysian product? Any demand that Mahathir must be severely punished? You haven't noticed to the same degree and extent. Now, this is the same Mahathir Mohamad who in 2019 criticized India on Kashmir at United Nations. It is the same Mahathir Mohamad of Malaysia that gave shelter to a fugitive terror evangelist, Zakir Naik, from India in Malaysia. And this Mahathir Mohamad, in collusion with two of his other partners of crime, one Turkish Erdogan, who fancies himself as a new modern day caliph, dreams of a resurrection of the Ottoman Empire, and Imran Khan of Pakistan, who himself is a caricature. A politician, come cricketer, come joker, come womanizer, come Nobel Peace Prize aspirant, jihad promoter, come a pathetic lapdog of Kumar Bajwa, their army chief, whose legs shake in panic hearing Indian attack. Now, all these three leaders of these three countries, Mahathir, Erdogan and Imran Khan, they have been trying for quite some time together to build a new Islamic world order, dethroning Saudi Arabia from its position of authority and eminence in the Islamic world. And these are the three countries and three leaders who have been criticizing, cornering, single out India at UN from Kashmir to CAA. These are the three leaders who always say, look, India, it is an Islamophobic country, it is a fascist country. And under this propaganda cover of Islamophobia, they have been radicalizing youth from Kashmir to Bangladesh, from Pakistan to France. So when this Turkish President Erdogan says, viciously make a personal comment on President Macron that he should check up his mental health in violation of a basic standard of international discourse. When in Bangladesh, 40,000 people from Islami Andolan in Bangladesh take out a rally demanding boycott of French product, demanding punishment from the French president, or when tens of thousands of people from Hifazat-e-Islami Bangladesh, they too lay siege to the French embassy in Dhaka, asking the government that the ambassador of France must be kicked out of the country. Who was the first person that called the shot? Who was the first person that called for this boycott of French product? It was Erdogan. It was the same Erdogan, the self-promoted fanatic caricature of a modern-day caliph. It is the same Erdogan who in his own country, Turkey, just a few months back, converted a century-old church, Hagia Sophia, into a mosque. Chora Church into yet another mosque. Now, this is the same Erdogan who in his own country has been recruiting a lot of Pakistani journalists in Turkish media like Anadolu Times to spread a misinformation campaign against Kashmir. It is the same Turkey where a Turkish TV serial, Resurrection Ertuğrul, which promotes global jihad, which validates beheading and gives dreams of an Islamic world order, becomes a source of inspiration for many in Pakistan and across Middle East. The TV serial is so popular, it is almost as popular as an Ekta Kapoor serial in India. And it is no coincidence when Erdogan of Turkey says in one of his speech, resurrection of Hagia Sophia, one can easily associate it with resurrection of Ertuğrul. It captures the imagination of those 1,000 years of jihad against the crusader, right from the time of Ertuğrul Ghazi to Ottoman, who founded the Ottoman Empire, to Saladin, to Mehmed II, who captured Constantinople, the Islamic victory over the Christian countries. And when this same Erdogan openly declares that Jerusalem is ours, he makes his intent very clear. And this Erdogan in collusion with Pakistan's Imran Khan and Mahathir Mohamad and Imran Khan's flop and puncture government that threatened France that it will pull out its ambassador from Paris, forgetting that Pakistan doesn't have any ambassador in Paris. Its cabinet minister Fawad Chaudhry, who threatened to nuke France, who congratulated the Prime Minister Imran Khan for its successful terror attack in Pulwama. Unfortunately, in India, many things. It was the Modi who carried out the terror attack for election gains. That's a different question. So these three of them have been constantly rabble-rousing about Islamophobia, particularly India, in general, all over the world. And therefore, using this camouflage of Islamophobia, they have been exploiting the minds of youths in French ghetto, where Muslim refugees from different parts of the world, from Morocco to Algeria to Tunisia to Bosnia to Syria, have been coming and living. But this infection of jihadi ideology is not limited only to that part of the world. When an AMU student leader, a so-called liberal leader, Farhan Jubeiri, directly threatens to behead anybody who so much as dare to insult his prophet, comes on the live television and justifies emphatically his statement. When a notable Urdu poet Munawar Rana echoed the same sentiment. When a Congress MLA Arif Masood takes out a rally in Bhopal and in Mumbai at Muhammad Ali Road, just under the JJ flyover, thousands rally demanding punishment for the French president and call for a boycott of the French product. I have one simple question to them. What the French president has done or said? Is it a crime for the French president to defend his own country from this scourge of terrorism? 2015, Paris terror attack by ISIL that claimed 137 innocent lives. 2016, Bastille Day attack. 2016, again there was Normandy church attack. 2017, Marseille stabbing. 2018, Paris terror attack. 2019, Lyon bombing. And 2020, when there is a deadly virus on the prowl in last 10 months, 7 major terror attacks rocked the entire France. So it is a crime for the Prime Minister Macron to try to prevent those Muslim ghetto in France from growing into a separate state within the state. It is a crime for the President Macron to crack down on those foreign imams who have been trying to erect a parallel social order inside the French society, whose ultimate objective is to gain control over the French society and eliminating its values, its culture, its liberty. France has an interesting law. It's called French Secularism. That is, it's a fundamental principle of French Constitution. It's called licetis, which explicitly separates the interference of the state from the religion. Article 1 of the French Constitution guarantees the liberty to practice one's own religion, while Article 2 of the French Constitution also gives the guarantee to each and every individual his freedom of expression, his freedom of conscience, even the freedom to blasphemy. They have the right to believe and not to believe. They have the right to mock, make fun of, ridicule any faith, any prophet, any religion. 2004 French law doesn't allow or permit anybody to openly wear any religious symbol in school or in public office, whether it is a Sikh turban or a skull cap or a hijab or a Christian cross. Out of 2,300 odd mosques in France, only one mosque has been closed down after its link with the Samuel Paty terror attack has been established and came to light. Measures like ban on the homeschooling or bringing the foreign imams under tight scrutiny. So all these measures have been taken only to ensure an integration of the French ghettos with the mainstream of the French society. Is it a crime for the president of the France to respect the law of his land, to uphold their civilizational values? Now we must understand India is an all-weather friend of France. From advanced defense technology to maritime security cooperation, from supporting India to get a membership at United Nations Security Council, to support India and stand in solidarity with India in time of conflict between India and China, from building a consensus on rule-based international forums to support India on the topic of climate and environment, France has always been a strategic partner and a close ally of India. So those in India who are boycotting France or calling to punish the French president, will you want to contribute to sabotage the India's strategic interest in the world? Shouldn't your allegiance to the Republic of India stand supreme over your all other considerations? Even the Pakistanis and the Bangladeshis are not boycotting Chinese product, knowing fully well what the Chinese authority has done and is still doing on the Uyghur Muslims. What an atrocity and torture meted out to the Uyghurs. Have they called for a ban to China? So since, just like there is a difference between a country and a government, there is a difference between Islamophobia and a country's cracking down on terror outfits that run in the name of religion.